This should be a check for your Storm Stories recipe book. So that way you know if you have collected all the right information whenever you put together your scripts. The first thing that you're going to want to check is the meat ingredients for a hurricane. The first thing that you'll need is warm ocean water, which is 80 degrees or warmer. You'll need to have seawater that evaporates and rises. Winds collide. Must have the same wind direction and the wind speed to force this air upward. It must rotate in a counterclockwise direction, have an eye, and a Coriolis force that causes spin. You also need to have written how a hurricane forms and include some of the information about the seasons in which it occurs and also some safety tips. So, warm ocean water of 80 degrees or warmer then causes the seawater to evaporate. It's warm water, you have the sun out, it's going to evaporate, and whenever it evaporates, then you have that water vapor. So the winds, which have to have the same direction and speed, they collide and cause the air to move upward. And in that air that's moving upward, you have that water vapor that evaporated from that warm ocean water. And as the air rises, that water vapor condenses to a liquid, mixes with dust, and forms a cloud. So hurricanes originate from thunderstorms or cumulonimbus clouds that then start rotating in a counterclockwise direction that's due to the Coriolis force. We talked about the Coriolis effect when we talked about wind with Adopticity and how that it would cause the water in the toilet bowl to go down in one direction in the northern hemisphere and the opposite direction in the southern hemisphere. And so that Coriolis force is what's causing this hurricane to start to spin. And so it can't happen close to the equator because the Coriolis force isn't great enough. But only between 5 and 15 degrees latitude north and south are hurricanes able to form because of the Coriolis force causing that spin. And the hurricane spins around the center called the eye, and that's the calmest part of the storm. Hurricane season starts in the Atlantic Ocean from June 1st to November 30th. The season in the Eastern Pacific is from May 15th to November 30th. The Saffir-Simpson scale is then used to measure the severity of a hurricane. A Category 1 hurricane causes minimal damage, but a Category 5 hurricane causes catastrophic damage. So you can think about that scale and where a Category 2, 3, or 4 hurricane would be within that scale. So 1 is minimal, up to 5 is really catastrophic. Before a hurricane, it's important to have a safety plan. You're going to need to board up the windows, know the evacuation routes to get out of the town you're in, and prepare a disaster kit for your home or car. Having cash on hand is also important during an emergency like a hurricane, because a lot of the ATMs will be out of money by this point because people are trying to get cash. The electricity would be out mostly, so you're not going to be able to use like an ATM card or a check card or a credit card because a lot of those machines will be out. So the only way to buy something, or food or water or whatever you might need, or gas, is for cash. So always evacuate though when emergency officials instruct you to do so. It's never good to just wait out the storm. Here are the main ingredients for a tornado. They form from thunderstorms or cumulonimbus clouds. You need both warm, moist air and cool, dry air. You need a change in wind direction, an increase in wind speed, rising air, and a funnel cloud. And this is how a tornado forms. So most tornadoes form from thunderstorms or cumulonimbus clouds. You have warm, moist air that must meet cool, dry air, and this creates that unstable environment. So winds change direction and cause an increase in speed to create an invisible horizontal spinning effect. And that rising air then causes the horizontal spinning to then turn vertical, which is up and down. So this area of rotation causes that funnel cloud to develop. And it extends from the bottom of that thunderstorm cloud or the cumulonimbus cloud. And it's called a funnel cloud until it reaches the ground. And once that funnel cloud reaches the ground, then it is called a tornado. Tornadoes typically form in the Great Plains area in a spot called Tornado Alley. And the peak tornado season is in the south is from March through May. Peak tornado season in the north is usually during the summertime. And tornadoes are most likely to happen between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Tornadoes are measured using the Fujita scale. And F0 tornado has winds of 40 to 72 miles per hour and causes light damage. An F5 tornado has winds of 261 through 318 miles per hour and causes incredible damage, like blowing away strongly built houses and launching cars in the air like missiles. So they're very dangerous. To stay safe in a house or a building, you want to go to the basement or an inside room that doesn't have any windows. And if you're in a car, then you want to get out of that car and lay flat in a ditch. You don't want to be in that car when it's launched like a missile through the air. These are the main ingredients for lake effect snow. You need cold, dry air mass, warm lake water, evaporation from the lake, condensation to form a cloud, and precipitation over the lake. This is how lake effect snow forms. Cold, dry air from Canada moves to the southeast and across the Great Lakes. The land has cooled off quicker than the water, so the cold, dry air from Canada then picks up that warm water vapor as it crosses over the Great Lakes. So the warm water vapor cools when it gets to the southeastern side of the lake because the land is still much cooler than that water vapor. The coolness of the land causes that warm water vapor to condense, turn back into liquid droplets, which mixes with dust to form a cloud. Then that precipitation falls as snow on that southeastern side of the Great Lake. So Cleveland has a lot of snow because it falls on the southeastern side of the Great Lake, where Toledo doesn't get quite as much as Cleveland does, just because of this lake effect snow. If you're in a winter storm, you want to make sure that you keep warm and stay dry. You want to try to seek shelter from the wind. And if you're stuck in a car, then keep the car running only if the exhaust pipe is free of snow and you're not in a closed-in area, like a garage. Here are the main ingredients for a thunderstorm. You need moisture, unstable air, lift, lightning, thunder, and a cumulonimbus cloud. This is how a thunderstorm forms. Thunderstorms occur when warm air evaporates, rises and condenses to form cumulonimbus clouds. The unstable air is caused by a frontal system coming through. So thunderstorms are associated with thunder and lightning. Lightning is an electrical discharge caused by imbalances between storm clouds and the ground. The negative electrons that gather at the bottom of the cumulonimbus cloud then extend to the positive charges that have gathered on the ground, and opposites attract. So that is why you have lightning as they come together. So thunder is caused by the hole that lightning creates in the air. So once that lightning bolt goes through, it kind of cuts through the air and causes a hole. And once the lightning has gone through, then the air fills the hole back in, and it causes the sound that you hear, that's thunder. So the lightning has to occur before you actually hear the thunder. Thunderstorms can occur throughout the year, but mostly in the spring and summer. Thunderstorms typically occur during the afternoon hours. If you are outdoors during a thunderstorm, then you should find shelter. If there's no shelter, then stay away from trees. Indoors, you need to stay away from windows and avoid water, such as taking showers. So now you should have most of the important information that you'll need to write your script for your live on the scene weather report. So make sure that you are paying attention to the science and not just the drama, and have a good balance between the two. Good luck.